Everybody, welcome to the Early Alert. Way Through News meteorologist Brian Good here. We have a lot to cover, and I don't want to bore you guys with a long video like I have a tendency to do. So let me get right to it. First off, here are the rain chances ahead over the next 7 days. You see two spikes. It's because we really have two cold fronts that will be coming through the Ohio Valley. Both will struggle to push through, especially this one here. This one's really going to struggle, but it should enhance some thunderstorm activity. This one's the stronger of the two and may help us out for at least parts of next week. And notice the gap there in the middle, which we'll cover that as well in just a second. So let's take it one step at a time. First off, the severe threat for today, not even where close to us. Tomorrow, though, it gets closer to us, and I'll show you why that's the case. And then as we head into Thursday, we're in the lower end of all the scale here, marginal risk for all of wave country as the first of the two fronts arrives into our backyards. Let's start with, I do want to mention the second front, by the way, that comes in on Sunday, which is the stronger of the two. We're not outlooked yet from the Storm Prediction Center, but if I had to draw an idea of where they would put at least a marginal, I'm thinking in that vicinity as of right now. We'll wait and see how that looks, and I'll reevaluate that tomorrow, though. All right, so right now, we're fairly quiet. We did have one downpour that popped around Orange County here this morning. We've had two areas where we've noticed the moisture's been pooling this morning, and our southern counties and just northwest here of Louisville, where there's areas of moisture that are a little more bumped up to each other than other areas. And usually that can lead to cumulus clouds to develop and then a quick downpour. But they've really struggled. We've had some of that develop into Tennessee, and a few in Orange County, but that's really been about it. Here's a look at the satellite from space. Looking down, you can see where we've had that downpour that developed there in Orange County. The clouds still left over from that. And we're starting to see some cumulus trying to form here to the south, as well as right into even north central areas of Kentucky. Pretty much all over the place, we are seeing that moisture pooling because the amount of moisture available in the atmosphere is right along the river valleys themselves here. It's trapped basically along the Mississippi right into the Ohio River Valley. So this is the general zone we are talking about for pop-up thunderstorms for the day today. And it's really hard to pinpoint where they'll pop and where they'll go and the timing. Those are the challenges. So we saw yesterday, we had one really decent downpour that really fired up around lunch. Where did it go? Right into Louisville. Did it miss my house? Yes. I'm a little bitter about that. But a lot of you did get the rain. Congratulations. This afternoon, we'll be watching for downdraft Cape is up there. Anything over 1,000, really, you got to watch out for some damaging winds. It could happen because these thunderstorms do not have a tailpipe to them. So they pretty much become their worst enemy. They become their own engine for about 20 minutes, and then the engine fails and they collapse. It's when they collapse, you get that strong burst of wind that can happen, and it can produce some minor wind damage. Some trees can get knocked down, that kind of a deal. Only the strongest ones are capable of that. Most of them will not be that strong. And the reason why I say it's no tailpipe, because there's no wind shear around. There's no wind to help exhaust out these thunderstorms and keep them going for hours on end. There's just nothing around. It's a very quiet atmosphere overall above us, and that allows all that humidity in our layers, the atmosphere down at ground level. We only have just our layer to work with here. The lower layers atmosphere is all we can work with for thunderstorm generation, and there's just not much of a trigger. Let me show you futurecast though for tomorrow. We'll start you off with thunderstorms developing in the heat of the afternoon, and again the models are going to vary a little bit, but I want to bring your attention to a feature right into here. Watch Illinois. As we get into the late afternoon into the evening. Now you see what it looks like, and this is the RPM model, what looks like a Boeing segment. Almost an MCS kind of feature that kind of plows through here Wednesday evening. And then we see yet maybe another one that moves in right after that. After midnight, heading toward Thursday morning. Here's the reason for that. There is a strong little vortex showing up that is working its way through the atmosphere as we head into Wednesday afternoon and evening. Now, the majority of that is going to track to the northeast, but it may spark some thunderstorms that can develop a Boeing segment to them. And what they're going to do is they're going to feed on where the higher moisture content is. That's where they're going to go. Yes, the best energy is going to track one way, but they may build or turn another way. And as we head into Wednesday overnight, here's a high-res NAM. It's showing the activity starting up here during Wednesday evening, and then you see that little arc, a little bit of a Boeing arc, but it fades it out because it's getting away from its support. Again, its support is that little vort that's tracking one way, but it's feeding itself to the southeast. So once they become more displaced, then you don't have much to work with here, and everything falls apart. It's all a matter of where does that happen, how does this evolve, and how long does it take for them to become separated? And we see a weakening trend. Good questions. Can't answer them yet. And one thing that makes me think that we'll have to watch this is we've got higher levels of dew points right across the Ohio River itself, and that will likely attract it to build in our direction. Even though we may not have enough support for it when it gets here, we do have a lot of moisture content, which may keep it going as far as heavy rain and some gusty winds and a lot of lightning with that. Just kind of a heads up, something we'll monitor. This is going to change several times between now and Wednesday, I assure you. So just stay tuned for future updates, but give you a general idea of what we're looking at, the features that we're trying to examine, and the models are going to struggle with this. They always do. All right, Thursday itself, we are, outlook there for the marginal risk for just about everybody. There is some wind energy you need to work with in the Ohio Valley. I basically drew the map I did where I think we will have some issues here. Now, the instability is certainly there for Thursday, but I can't answer a lot of questions on Thursday itself because it'll depend on that Boeing segment Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Because say it were to come through the area, well, that may create, a sinking air behind it. It may stabilize us a bit for a while, and it may be tough to recover from that. And if we did, it may only be a situation where areas east of 65 can recover, and then they deal with thunderstorms when the front arrives Thursday afternoon, evening, and we miss it out completely for most of the daytime Thursday. So Thursday, I can't really answer the questions on that until we figure out how Wednesday evening and Wednesday night overnight is going to evolve. We'll see. Friday, at least it's trending hotter, 93. So we're going with now. Let's hope we don't have to raise that. But the front, moving through our area, it's the weaker of the two fronts I've talked about. The front number 2, by the way, is right here waiting for us. But we're in this gap here on Friday in between the two, and it looks to be mainly dry and very warm. You're into the U2 concert or the Kentuckiana Pride Festival. There's a lot going on this weekend. Be prepared to sweat. Humidity levels, what we call the PWATs, precipitable water, they do go down right into the Ohio Valley, so that should allow us to shut down the rain machine a bit. Still enough in the air that I'm too hesitant to take that all the way out and go completely dry. Not yet. I'll give it another day and see. We'll see what Kevin and Ryan do later too. For the weekend though, Saturday, a lot of questions on Saturday, and Saturday is a tough one, but with our front moving in, there is going to be some thunderstorms at some point Saturday. We just got to figure out how expansive they will be on the radar and the timing. It looks to be an afternoon event. Sunday though, still a really good agreement on that second front. Again, it is the stronger of the two. We'll likely kick up a band of thunderstorms as we get into Sunday evening and overnight. We'll see how that plays out. That could be some the strongest weather we'll have. More widespread heavy rain too, instead of these pop-up stuff we got to deal with. The good news is, after that moves in, we will get the humidity to go down just a bit, especially by next Tuesday, a week from today. We'll see it just taper down. Now, it still may be quite warm, well into the 80s, not near 90, but at least the humidity will ease a bit. Won't last long because it will come back into play. In fact, we will see a return of some thunderstorms, it looks like. Now, as we enter the 22nd, another front moves in. Some showers and thunderstorms ahead of that. And here's the front that's going to be key toward the 23rd and 24th of June, because we're still seeing signs of a tropical system in the Gulf of Mexico. But it's going to hit a wall here. It's going to have a choice, depending on when it forms and when the front moves south, will determine whether or not it gets pulled into Mexico, or maybe into Texas, or it bends all the way to the east into Florida. A lot of questions on the end period here of June. Stay tuned for updates on that. Let me get you real quick to the 14-day so you can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about. First day of summer, we're going to go with that lower humidity, the 20th and 21st, and then we'll ramp it back up to that summertime feel, and we'll worry about the last few days there once we get a better handle on that front and the tropics setup there. All right, have a good day, guys.